he can wrestle. He's got very good jiu-jitsu. He hits hard, and he's a big, durable dude. But I don't know if he's going to be able to wrestle with that guy.
It's hard to predict something, but I think Dricus is more solid. He can resist the very first rush from Chimaev, gourmet chain, and then we never know after the third round how Chimaev can, if he can sustain his energy after the third round. So I think this is my question.
Israel Adesanya has sparked quite the conversation with his prediction for the highly anticipated middleweight title fight between Dricus du Plessis and Khamzat Chimaev at UFC 319.
I think Khamzat with DDP would be next.
How do you see that fight? DDP, like the last kid by now at 185 pounds, it's different, man. When he beat Robert Whittaker, I'm like, I'm never going to contest it out again. He does the craziest shit.
He's just stubborn. It's even funny to watch. I give him all the respect. He's so good at what he does. I've said, what did I say before? Like, he's the best fighter in the world. Can't wait till I fight again just because there's some things I want to try.
Adesanya believes that if du Plessis is to win, it'll come in the later rounds, where his toughness and endurance will give him the upper hand. In contrast, he feels that if Chimaev manages to secure a victory, it'll likely happen in the first 2 rounds, thanks to his explosive and relentless aggression. Adesanya likened the fight to a battle of chaotic good versus chaotic evil, a clash of 2 different types of fighters with contrasting fighting styles. It's clear that Adesanya's breakdown shows a lot of respect for both fighters, but also highlights the critical early moments that could shape the outcome.
Khamzat would, I think Khamzat will, if he wins, it's the first 2 rounds, or the first round. But Dricus is just chaotic. Chaotic good, chaotic evil. That's literally what this fight might be. Chaotic good versus chaotic evil.
There's no shortage of expert opinions on this fight, and many other former champions and analysts have weighed in on what could be one of the most exciting title bouts in recent years. One such voice is Luke Rockhold, another former middleweight champ, who gave his thoughts on how this fight will unfold. Rockhold didn't mince words when talking about Chimaev, labeling him as a beast and emphasizing the pressure that the undefeated fighter brings. According to Rockhold, Chimaev's relentless style is his main weapon, but he raised the key question: can du Plessis withstand that pressure in the first couple of rounds?
By the way, how is Khamzat looking leading into this UFC 319 fight? Like, we had some questions around him even making it into the country. Is he looking sharp going into this DDP fight from what you've seen in the gym?
I mean, I don't go watch it. I don't go watch it every training session, but he's, Khamzat, you know what he's gonna do. He's a fucking beast. He's a wrestler. He's a grappler. He's gonna get relentless pressure. He's gonna start fast and hard. And can Dricus take that? Can he take that first round, that first 2 rounds? I mean, that's what life's about for his fight, his opponents. Can they withstand the barrage? Because he's gonna bring it.
Do you reckon Khamzat will be able to handle DDP later on in the fight if he can survive?
I don't like those opportunities for him. I've trained with DDP a lot. He's tough. He ain't gonna go away. You gotta dominate him. You gotta finish him. I mean, you gotta dominate him from start to finish, or you gotta finish him early. I mean, and I just don't see how Khamzat's gonna keep that pressure. That his intensity you can only keep that for so long. That's not 5-round material.
Meanwhile, UFC legend Michael Bisping has been equally vocal in his assessment of the fight, and his thoughts align with Rockhold's to a certain degree. Bisping was stunned by the fact that du Plessis opened as an underdog against Chimaev, considering the South African's overall skills and accomplishments. Bisping pointed out that du Plessis has a strong wrestling background, a good gas tank, and the ability to go 5 rounds without fading. In contrast, Chimaev has shown some vulnerabilities in longer fights, particularly in his decision wins over Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman, where he couldn't secure finishes in the first 2 rounds.
Anyway, since he's come up to 185, Khamzat Chimaev is looking great, okay? But I'm just saying, against Dricus du Plessis, this guy's not easy to fight, okay? People talk about this herky-jerky, offbeat rhythm, and he does have kind of a unique style. But you cannot say that this is not effective. And yeah, Khamzat beat Robert Whittaker. So did Dricus du Plessis. Dropped him with a jab in the second round, then followed up with a beautiful combination. Out of the 23 wins that Dricus du Plessis has, he's finished 20 of them.
Bisping made a compelling point that while Chimaev's pressure is a major weapon, it may also be his biggest flaw. He suggested that Chimaev could gas out if he doesn't finish Du Plessis early, which could open the door for Du Plessis to take control in the later rounds. Chimaev's aggressive style is beloved by fans, but Bisping warned that if Chimaev's pace slows, Du Plessis could easily capitalize on that shift in momentum.
But the fact that they've got Dricus Du Plessis as the underdog is insane. The man can wrestle, he's got great jiu-jitsu, he's big for the weight class, and more importantly, he has a gas tank. He has had no problems going 5 rounds. The 2 times Khamzat went to a decision was when he couldn't get the finish in the first or second round. And that's when Gilbert Burns started to take over. That's when Kamaru Usman had a lot of success and settled the score, and it almost came out as a draw. And now it's not 3 rounds, it's 5 rounds. And the way that Khamzat Chimaev fights is the way that he fights. He ain't gonna change. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. When you lose fights, you say, well, I never really lost. It was a chance to learn. And that is true. When you do lose, you address some things. You address your preparation. You address your weight cut. You address your diet. You address all kinds of shit that you might have been doing wrong. And one of those things might be that I address the fact that I don't pace myself. As I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. He's going to go full steam ahead. Khamzat Chimaev's going to go right at him. He ain't going to fuck about. He's going to swing for the fence. He's going to pick him up. He's going to try and slam him down. He's going to go berserk. He's going to go mental. And that's what we love about him. And that's why we can't wait to see this fight. But if he doesn't get him out of there in the first round or the second round, and he's starting to gas come round 3 and round 4 and round 5, he is looking to be anywhere else but in the middle of the octagon in the United Center, right? Dricus Du Plessis is going to take over. And that man is a big, powerful son of a bitch. And he is a finisher as well.
On the flip side, Robert Whittaker offered his perspective as someone who has shared the octagon with both Du Plessis and Chimaev. Whittaker's take was a bit more cautious, and he acknowledged the difficulty in picking a clear favorite between the 2 fighters. While Whittaker expressed respect for both, he seemed to lean toward Du Plessis, largely because he believes that the longer the fight goes, the better it will be for the South African. Whittaker's insight was grounded in the idea that Chimaev's best chance to win lies in an early finish. He noted that Chimaev has struggled in longer bouts, and if Du Plessis can weather the storm early, he'll likely come out on top.
Happened in August, Dricus versus Khamzat. What do you think is going to happen, and who do you think is going to get their hands raised in middleweight?
It's tricky. I think the favourite would have to be Dricus, just because, yeah, I think the favourite would have to be Dricus. The only things I can really say with any sort of certainty is that Chimaev will get Dricus to the mat, but if Chimaev doesn't finish Dricus there, I find it hard for him to win. I think the longer the fight goes, Dricus is more favourable.
Whittaker was quick to recognize that Chimaev's wrestling will undoubtedly pose problems for Du Plessis, especially in the early rounds. But his prediction ultimately boiled down to the notion that Chimaev's explosiveness can only take him so far. If the fight drags on, Whittaker feels that Du Plessis will be the one with the advantage, thanks to his solid cardio, experience, and toughness.
Chimaev has outstanding first round finishes, but you know, every fight that's gone the distance has been close.
As the fight approaches, there's been plenty of discussion about how both fighters will deal with the pressure. UFC fighter Shara Magomedov has expressed an even more ominous prediction for Du Plessis. Magomedov, who is known for his bold remarks, warned that Chimaev is a dangerous fighter and not to be underestimated. He stressed that while Du Plessis has been impressive, Chimaev's relentlessness makes him a serious threat. His comments, although less detailed than others, show that many view Chimaev as the fighter with the edge going into the fight.
As I said before, Dricus is in very good, strong hands in this fight, and we'll make sure to remember his name with 2 seconds of silence afterwards.
Another person weighing in on the matchup is UFC legend Khabib Nurmagomedov, who has a wealth of experience in cornering fighters for big moments. Khabib, known for his cool-headed approach to strategy, shared his thoughts on how Chimaev could approach this fight. Khabib advised that while Chimaev's pressure is often overwhelming, it could become a double-edged sword if he doesn't manage his energy. He pointed out that Chimaev hasn't yet fought in a championship round fight and suggested that if he tries to go all out early, he may burn out before he can finish Du Plessis.
Я думаю, что мое личное мнение, я бы Хамзату посоветовал бы, чтобы он высокий класс. Вот чисто по боксу пустые, Хамзат лучше. Вот чисто по боксу. Это мое мнение. Просто здесь есть такой момент. Ты можешь сфорсировать, события. Раунд, 2. Но если ты его не финишируешь, ты очень много энергии потеряешь. А потом надо в чемпионских раунды, да. А Хамзат не был в чемпионских раундах. В 5 не был. А этот пацан последний, 4 года. Еще до чемпионского, еще главных боях. Да, у него опыт большой, надо учитывать. Просто, когда ты готовишься к такому бою, ты должен рассматривать все сценарии. Ты не можешь, я зайду и откручу. Ты должен смотреть, а если вот так пойдет, а если вот так пойдет, а если вот сюда зайду. Ты должен все сценарии смотреть.
Finally, Arman Tsarukyan has expressed full support for Chimaev. Tsarukyan, who has trained alongside Chimaev, has praised his camp and confidence heading into the fight. He described Chimaev as sharp and healthy, and emphasized that he's ready for the biggest challenge of his career. Tsarukyan's enthusiasm is shared by many who see Chimaev as the future of the division. However, like many others, he's aware that Du Plessis is a tough challenge, and that this fight is far from a foregone conclusion.
Hello everybody, I'm Arman Tsarukyan. We have a training camp with Khamzat Chimaev. He's getting ready for his title fight. He looks sharp, so excited for him and to see him UFC champion. So far his camp going well, he's healthy, he has a lot of energy, and I'm just here to help him whatever they need. If they need the wrestling, I'll wrestle. If they need the striking, I'll strike. So I'm here to help, and I want him to be a UFC champion.
There's no doubt that Chimaev is an intriguing challenger for the middleweight title. Despite not having the same level of media attention as some of his counterparts, Chimaev has been on an impressive run, defeating top contenders with his overwhelming wrestling and striking. His fight against Gilbert Burns showed that he could hang with top-tier competition, and his recent win over Kamaru Usman solidified his status as one of the most dangerous fighters in the division. Now he's set to face a completely different beast in Du Plessis.
Who you got, Chimaev versus DDP? I've got DDP over Chimaev. I've got Dricus Du Plessis winning. I think Dricus survives round 1 and finishes Chimaev in the later rounds. Dricus has a really good fundamental base in jiu-jitsu and submission grappling, and it's something that not a lot of people know about. Dricus is bigger, stronger, I think more gritty and heart. He has more heart than Whittaker by far. He's tougher, he's more durable. He doesn't have the teeth problems that Whittaker had. So I think he's going to break Chimaev in the later rounds.
Du Plessis, on the other hand, has faced his fair share of criticism. His unorthodox fighting style hasn't always won over fans, but there's no denying his ability to get results in the octagon. His most recent title defense against Israel Adesanya at UFC 305, where he submitted Adesanya to defend his belt, proved just how dangerous he can be when pushed to the limit. Du Plessis' striking may be awkward, but it works. He's also been praised for his ability to mix it up, which is a critical asset when facing someone as versatile as Chimaev.
And then you've got DDP and Khamzat Chimaev. Who emerges from that?
DDP, man, he is something else. For so long we thought he just was bad. He's not. He's really good. He's like really, really good.
One thing that all of these analysts seem to agree on is that this fight will be a war. Whether Du Plessis can withstand Chimaev's early pressure and drag him into deeper waters, or whether Chimaev can keep his foot on the gas and finish Du Plessis before the fight goes into championship rounds will be a key element.
Du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev. How do you feel about this fight?
Everybody know I used to work with Khamzat. I love the guy. After COVID, it really messed him up. One of the craziest things I've ever seen. Throwing up like blood. As far as I know now, he's in Russia, he's in camp, he's focused, he's a superstar. He's one of the biggest stars in the UFC.
With UFC 319 right around the corner, it's clear that the middleweight division is at a crossroads. Whether Chimaev's dynamic style will overwhelm Du Plessis, or if the South African champion can weather the storm and retain his title remains to be seen. What's for sure is that this fight is one of the most intriguing matchups in recent UFC history, and fans can't wait to see how it unfolds inside the octagon.